Hello students, I hope all of you are fine. Students, as you know, to run a democratic country, sharing of power in different organization is very important. To know why we need power sharing and how is power shared in different democratic countries, we study about power sharing. So students, today's our topic is power sharing, class 10 civics. Chapter 1. First of all, we need to know power sharing. In a democracy, all power does not rest with any one organ of the government. An intelligent sharing of power among legislatures, executive, or the judiciary is very important to the design of a democracy. Yes, to run democracy in a systematic way, we have need to power shared in the different organs. So let's see which topic we cover in this chapter. The first one, story of Belgium. Second one, story of Sri Lanka. Third one, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Fourth one, accommodation in Belgium. Fifth one, power, why power sharing is desirable. And the last one, forms of power sharing. Let's see the story of Belgium. As you can see in this image, this one is the map of Belgium, which is a European country. The Belgium is a small country in Europe which has a population of a little over 1 crore. The ethnic composition of this small country is very complex. Out of the total population of the country, 59% live in the Flemish region and they speak Dutch language, and another 40% people live in the Wallonia regions and they speak French, and the remaining 1% of Belgians speak German. And in Belgium's capital, Brussels, 80% people speak the French while 20% are Dutch speaking. The minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. This made Dutch speaking community angry as they the benefit of economic development and education much later. Students, Belgium is a very small country and it has a population of little over 1 crore, about the half of population of Haryana. And the ethnic compositions. First of all, we have need to about what is ethnic. Ethnic, a social division based on the shared culture. People belonging to the same ethnic groups believe in their common descent because of the similarity of physical type or the culture, and they need not always have the same religion or nationality. The small complex is that in the population of the Flemish region, as you can see the Flemish region, the yellow part. In Flemish regions, 59% people speak Dutch language, and in Wallonia regions, 40% people speak French language. And look in this image, and 1% of Bulgarians speak German language. And the most important thing is this, in Belgium's capital, which one? Brussels. And you can see here this one, orange color. 80% people speak French while 20% are Dutch speaking. And the minority French speaking community relatively rich and poor. And Dutch communities angry as they benefit of economic development and education much later. Now, the tension between the two communities was more acute in Brussels. Actually, Brussels presented a special problem, and the problem is this: the Dutch speaking people constituted a majority in the country, but the minority in the capital. Okay, let's see. During the 1950s and the 1960s, the tension between Dutch speaking and French speaking communities created due to these differences. Now, let's see the story of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is neighboring country of India. Sri Lanka is an island nation south of Indian having the diverse population of about 2 crore people. The major social groups are Sinhala speakers 74% and the Tamil speaker 18%. The Tamils are divided into two groups, Sri Lankan Tamils 13% and Tamil native of the country, and Indian Tamils 5% came from India during the colonial period as plantation worker. Most of the Sinhala speaking people are Buddhist, and while most of the Tamils are Hindus and Muslim, and there are about 7% Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhalas. Now you can see here the Majoritarians means major social groups are Sinhalas 74%, okay, and 18% are Tamil speakers, and in which 13% are Tamil natives and the 5% are Tamil Indians. Okay, now the problems about the powers and about the accommodation, about the majoritarianisms. And you see, let's compare the situations of the both countries, the how they solve their problems. Now first see majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. The democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarianism policy measures to establish the Sinhala supremacy. These are Sinhala as the only official language. The governments followed preferential policies and favored in the Sinhalas and applicant for the university position and the government job. And these decisions gradually increased the feeling of alienations and among the Sri Lankan Tamils. The Sri Lankan Tamils launched the parties and struggle for the recognition of Tamil as an official language for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing the education and job. And by 1980s, the several political organizations were formed demanding an independent Tamil Alam means state in northern and eastern part of Sri Lanka. It soon turned into civil war. As you can see in Majoritarian in Sri Lanka, actually in Majoritarians means Sinhala, and you can see here the Sinhala supremacy because the official language is also Sinhala's. Students, now first of all we have need to know about the Majoritarianism. Majoritarianism, a belief that the majority communities should be able to rule a country in whichever way it wants by discrediting the wishes and needs of minority. And now you can see here, and in 1956 an act was passed recognized the Sinhala as the only official language, thus disgraded Tamil, and the government followed the professional policies and favored the Sinhala's applicants for university position and government job. And a new constitution stipulated that the state shall the protect and the foster Buddhism, and the Buddhist was the official religion. Now you can see, so Sri Lankan Tamils launched the parties and struggle for their recognitions, their opportunities, their rights, their equalities and job opportunities. And now at last in 1980s and Sri Lankan Tamils demanding for independent state, and it soon turned into civil war. Now next, accommodation in Belgium. How Belgium solved their problems. In between 1970s and 1993, the Belgian constitution amended 4 times to work out an arrangement that would make everyone to live together. Issues. As you can see in the both countries, how they solve their problems. And Sinhalas establish their supremacy, but in Belgium's they accommodate their problems in the very decent way. As you can see here, 1970s and to 1993, the Belgium constitutions amended 4 times, and the model of Belgium was constitutions prescribed the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers in the equal in the central government, and many power of the central government given to the state government of the two region of the country, and the Brussels has the separate government, and the both communities have the equal representations. Now there was no conflicts on the basis of their language, communities, and ethnic groups. Now, why power sharing is desirable? Power sharing is very desirable. There are two types of region: prudential region and moral region. The first of all, prudential regions. First, we need to know about what is prudential. Prudential based on the prudence or on careful calculation of gain and losses. Prudential decisions are usually contrasted with the decisions based on purely on the moral considerations, and it reduces the possibility of conflicts between the social groups, and it gives stability to the government and it strengthens the unity of country, as you can see the example of Belgium. And moral regions, the power shares is very spirit of democracy, and people have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. Power share Power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflicts between the social groups. And power sharing is very spirit of democracy. A democratic rules involves the sharing power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effects. Yes, it is very important to run a democratic country to do the power share in different groups and to dissolve the conflicts of the social groups. Okay, now the next one, the forms of power sharing. Students, forms of power sharing we will continue in the next class. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.